Hi, it's Nanette. Welcome to this craft tutorial where I will show you how to create a stitch project using a punch needle. For this project, you will need a punch needle kit. So mine was bought at the warehouse in New Zealand. This is what it looks like. And it includes an embroidery hoop, some wool, a punch needle, and a normal needle, and then also a threading tool. So I'll share some links below where you can buy these. There are many benefits to slow crafting. Some of them include the rhythmic repetitive movements of punch needling that can help calm the mind, encourage a mindful flow state, and also bring our attention back to the present moment. Along with that, working with color, texture, and patterns engages the brain through creativity, problem solving, and hand eye coordination, while the tactile nature of textiles can provide a grounding sensory experience. Slow crafting can also reduce stress and mental overload, support relaxation and nervous system regulation, build patience, confidence, and resilience, provide a meaningful outlet for self expression, and also create a sense of accomplishment and connection. In a world that constantly encourages us to rush, slow crafts invite us to pause, create, and reconnect, one stitch at a time. In order to thread your needle, you will need to use the threader tool, the long, thin metal piece. So you will need to push that up through the needle from the bottom to the top so that the hooked part sticks out at the top of the needle. Then you will take your wool, stick the edge of the wool through so that it makes a loop, and then pull that all the way through so that the little edge of the wool pulls all the way through to the bottom of the needle. Then the next step is to stick the threaded tool from the outside of the needle through to the inside. Grab your piece of wool and hook it through so that when you're done, the wool sits on the outside of the needle tip. You'll see it all explained in this video. I personally started this project from the center, so I did the cactus first and then the rest of it. So when you start your project, you're going to put the needle all the way through the canvas and pull out the little edge of the wool to go all the way through. Then you want to point the beveled edge of the needle away from you, so the sharper point away from you, and you'll stitch your stitches one at a time, and you simply put the needle in and you space it and you put it in again. So the longer the spacing is between this, the more secure your stitches will be. So initially when I did it too close together and then it just pulls out. So just a tip, but you should see the way I did it in this video. So I did the edge of the cactus first, and then I filled out the gaps. And in the end, your stitches should be almost like when you're laying bricks. So to go in between the spacing of one another. So I'm sure the video will explain it better than I can in words. In this part of the video, you can see the way I hold the needle pretty clearly. So to always point the sharp, pointy bit away from you. And you can also see that I've done the edges first and then filled in the rest of the detail. In this part of the video, you can also see where I've done the stitches too close together and that they just pull out. So you're going to have to play around with it a little bit. The other thing I've found that you can also see in this part of the video is to have your wool pulled out and nice and loose so that as you stitch, you have enough, there's no tension on the wool. There's enough space for your wool to just flow freely. So the moment you see that your wool gets tangled or there's a lot of tension on it, just stretch it out, make sure it's nice and loose so that you can move freely. This is just a replay of how to thread the needle, so you can pay close attention to the way I've done that. for this last part of the video, I've slowed it down again and you can see how I finished the project. So when you get to the end of it, or the end of each color, leave enough wool to, so when you push the needle through, that you've got a piece of wool about this long. And you'll see at the back of mine, I'm not a seamstress, so my work is probably not super neat and tidy, but this is the first time I've done needle punching, and I just thought I'd share the process with you and how I've done it. So for each color that I used, I left a tail end of about this long, and then I started tying them together. So this just secure your work a little bit more, and it just helps that it doesn't pull out, if someone pulls on it from the front end or whatever. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that, and that you'll try needle punching. I found it very relaxing and meditative, and felt super calm afterwards, and I really enjoyed this new craft. So I hope you guys will try it. If you'd like to see more beginner-friendly slow craft tutorials like this one, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.